overall, what an amazing season. I couldn't have asked for any more from this group. I really think they left it all on the floor. Obviously, they were shot in that last game, absolutely shot mentally and physically. But to have 21 wins overall, third highest in Penn State Big Ten era, second highest win total in Big Tens with 11, ranked forever. For 10 weeks, longest period, or tied for the longest period in program history. 76 wins by the senior class. This is impressive statistics. 61 wins overall in the last 3 seasons, 33 in the Big Ten, most of any 3-year span. There's a lot of success here, and it needs to be talked about. We all want to dwell on the last few games or the last 2 weeks. I get that, but I'm going to choose to look at the positives, because we can't steal the joy of this team, this group, and what they did, where they put us, and where we're going this week and then on Sunday. It's exciting stuff. 8 straight league wins, first time in program history. 4 road wins at Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, Nebraska. We've only won there 6 times out of 81. This group did that together. Big Ten scoring record this year. Smashed 3-pointers this year. 157. Beat it by more than 25. Defensive lowest field goal percentage. There's a lot to celebrate. I know we're all, we wished we would have got the double bye and been a co-champs. Don't get me wrong, I wanted all that. But I also can't diminish what this group has meant to me and what they've done this year. Let's celebrate them. And now we start fresh. I think this is the best thing that could happen to us. The end of the regular season, starting fresh, reboot, recalibrate, new season. We had an amazing practice right there. We went old school. It was like October 15th again. And they came with incredible energy and enthusiasm. That's what we need to see to finish off March.
How much of the last 6 games do you feel like are isolated incidents or problems that can be solved versus more general failings, I guess?
You know what? We haven't been in this situation before. Fighting for a Big Ten championship was all new for us. The exposure, the social media exposure is poisonous. It was all new, and you do everything you can to put your walls up and reduce your inner circle and just make it your team, but it's extremely hard to do. But everything on the court is very correctable, and that's what's encouraging. We've played some really good halves in the last 6 games, some really good halves. And we need to capture those halves and make them 40 minutes now. I still think MJ's a little rusty. I think, without question, one of you guys asked me after Michigan State, is he weary? I just didn't want to give an excuse right now when we had one more game to go. But Lamar looked weird, looked tired. He didn't look tired today, though. It looks like he's got his energy back. He's got his jump back. He looks good. He's very vocal. So I see a lot of positive signs, but all very correctable. And it's March. It's the best time of year. Let's have some fun.
Generally, over the last couple seasons, you have played your best basketball for the most part towards the end of the year versus the beginning. It doesn't seem like you're playing your best basketball right now. It seems like you're more tired than you've been before, despite having probably more options than before. Is there a reason that you can kind of put your finger on why both of those things have happened maybe at the most inopportune moment?
Yeah, you know what? It's this league. It's this league. It's so good. It's so hard. It's relentless. It's suffocating. It's tough. It's tough, and it's easy to go in a tailspin. And unfortunately, I always say we want to be the best team by the end of the year, and we obviously hit some speed bumps. Guys definitely look stressed and worried and weary, and we tried to shorten practice, we tried to shorten film, we tried to do a lot of different things. So I think for us, and it's going to be great for the juniors and the sophomores, we're really going to learn from this situation about where we were, where they put the program, and how to handle it moving forward, and how to continue to be that top 25 program as we head into future years.
Do you think, and I know the way this is going to sound, but when you win 8 games in a row with a bunch of guys that have never really done much winning at all, now they've won 8 games, now they're ranked in the top 10, now they're fighting for a Big Ten title. If I told you could be 11-8 or 11 and whatever 9 and 11-9 in
Thanks,
Big Ten
Ben.
play right now, would you have spread it out differently?
If that's the way it would, if I had a magic wand and said this is the way I would like it, maybe, because you'd like to be a hot team right now, like some teams in Wisconsin, right? You'd like to Michigan State. You'd like to be a little hotter going into the Big Ten tournament. But I also think there's some really valuable learning lessons. Maybe we got a little full of ourselves. Maybe we got a little complacent. I don't know. I'm not sure. We're trying to figure it out. But success definitely got to us a little bit. If you would have told me in October I was going to be 11-9 and 21 wins and a top 25 for half the year, I'd probably say, where do I sign up for that? Can I have that? There's no but. That's it.
And you mentioned the team was weary down the stretch. How do you prepare for a bowl that would require you to play 4 games in 4 days with a weary team?
I think we got a fresh start. I think the best thing that happened to us was the season ended. And sometimes that's a good thing. So now you're 0-0. Your record doesn't matter. Your statistics don't matter. Any accolades don't matter. What matters is just getting better and focusing on ourselves. To be able to get another bye 3 years in a row, I'm sure we haven't done that before. Really positive stuff. So we had a hard practice today, off tomorrow, short hard practice Wednesday to prepare for those 4 days in a row. But we've done everything that we can possibly do. Look, I showed them a 5-minute video of everything they accomplished this year. And I got to tell you, the video was powerful. One of those powerful things I've seen in my tenure, even in my days at Nova. What these kids were able to do, the energy and the enthusiasm, and that's what we needed to get back. The energy, the positive body language, the dunks and the steals, and it was really getting stops, timely stops, and timely threes, and we were just having a really good time. And I think we wanted it so bad to get the double bye or co-champion that maybe we didn't play our best. Maybe we weren't as connected. But I felt like today we really got back to who we are and what we need to do going forward.
I'll be the bad guy.
Please.
Do you have an update?
Day to day. Thank you.
Is there the timing of that, Pat, with happening at the end of the season when everything else is going on? I'm sure you don't need that headache. I'm not sure how you could address that, but it seems like the worst possible timing.
Yeah, timing stinks. But as you know, I've been saying this for years, right? And I've stuck to it. And you guys hate the answer, but it's day to day. Everything's day to day, with mental health. And we just got to make sure we take care of them as a human being versus a basketball player, or do it holistically. Let's make sure we get him right, and then on the court, maybe he can help us. But right now, day to day, he had a good day today. He's got to continue to put good days together. Look, from my perspective this year, he's had more really good days than bad days. You were embedded. He had a couple bad days, right? Just being transparent. But he's had really, really good days, mostly for this senior year. So I'm encouraged. And usually, when something like this happens, he's even better as he comes through it.
And you had mentioned that Lamar looked better today. That seems like an awful quick turnover or turnaround from being kind of weary and
Yeah.
What happened?
You know what? I just think everything's on him, right? The scoring title, trying to win a Big Ten championship, always being in front of the media, always answering questions, everybody talking about the scoring title. It can just wear you down, and I think he finally just let it go. It's over now. Let it go. Now it's a fresh season, fresh start. Let's go have some fun in the Big Ten tournament. Let's enjoy this. Let's go enjoy Selection Show Sunday. Let's go find out where we're going to go. Something we haven't done in 9 years. Something he hasn't done in 4. Something this program's only done in 5 out of, who's my historian? 40 years or something. We've only been there 5 times in 40 years. Is that right?
4 times
Is it
since
65?
1965.
4 times in 65 years? Let's not diminish what this group did then. I didn't know it was 65. I mean, that's... And how hard the league was this year, that's the story you need to write. Don't write that we lost 5 out of 6. You write, hey, This program's going to the NCAA Tournament. It's only been there 5 times in 65 years. It's amazing what these kids have done.
How does how hard this league is make your team better?
Yeah, that's. I said this the other day. I don't know what either Fox or ESPN, but I can't wait to play somebody else. Man, I look forward to playing out of this conference. It's so unforgiving. You got to play perfect, and if you're not mentally dialed in and micro-focused, it's very simple for an opponent to go on a 10-0 run. Real simple, because the coaches are good, the players are good, and you fall prey to some of your habits and some of your weaknesses when you get fatigued. So we're really working on that mental conditioning. I used to say that in the beginning of the year. I've been saying it to these guys internally all the time. We got to keep working on our mental fitness for sure.
Hey, Coach, nothing but tournament basketball going forward. What makes a good tournament basketball team being able to string wins together?
Defending and rebounding. And we haven't done a great job of that recently. I mean, we've done, obviously, there's some records here. But I think there's pockets of time, specifically the first 4 minutes of the second half, where we're just not defending and rebounding to a level that we need to be a great team. Because in the tournament, you're going to be nervous, you're going to have butterflies, all that stuff. You can rely on that. You know your rotations at this point. It's all about effort. It's all about communication. It's all about trust. We have that. But you got to do it consistently. And I think the thing about us is, look, we're making threes. We smashed the record. Where's David Jones? Tell him we're making threes. We're making threes. We smashed the record for threes. So you got threes, and now when Lamar and Mike are at their best, hey, John Harris shooting, what, 65%, 60%, whatever he is, from 2. So we got guys who can post up. So that's deadly. If you can make threes, and you got some guys who can score in the paint, I think you give yourself a real good chance to make a deep run. But we got to get that good feeling back for sure. And that's why this video this morning, you could see it, man. And those guys stood up and they had that good feeling walking out of that film.
Having the good feeling kind of leading to what you would hope to be a win streak. Your team has been streaky this year, either winning in bunches, losing in bunches. Is there any general characteristic to a streaky team going one way or the other?
Again, I just go back to this league. Sometimes it's timing. Sometimes you catch the right team at the right time. They have some issues going on, some problems going on. They're fatigued too. Sometimes you catch them. We got caught a little bit here at the end. But for me, it's all about the growth mindset. It's all about learning and teaching these guys how to handle these situations.
Regardless of Mike's availability, you've had second halves where he hasn't been available or you haven't played him as much. Is this team, I guess, used to his absence to a certain extent? And what are the direct impacts on what you can do with your lineups based on him being in the game or not?
Yeah, obviously at Northwestern it hurt us because he's a rim protector and he alters shots. But it wasn't like they got downhill a ton. They were drilling threes, but still. And then he gets you a couple offensive rebounds. He gets you a couple go-tos and counters that can stop some runs. So we definitely missed him in Northwestern for sure. I have not played him in certain situations where John is just playing great defense. I just feel like his ball screen defense is fantastic. He really cleans up some mistakes that the younger guys make. And he had a double-double. He's rebounding. He's really playing at a high level. I couldn't be more proud of a young man and his growth and development. I will play small. We haven't played small a lot this year, just because I felt like John and Mike were having really good seasons, and I didn't think we needed to. But we played small the other day, and now that makes us faster, and we have more talent out there, more skill out there. You just worry about rebounding, and that's been, when we lose the rebounding battle, we're losing. So that's the one concern you have with playing small. And as long as Lamar has that energy, gets his second win. I told you that a week ago about the second win. We need to get our second win. I feel like we got that today.
And with Lamar specifically, it seems like a lot of his misses have been maybe the highest percentage.
Point blank?
Yeah,
Is
right.
that a good phrase for you?
Sure.
Yeah.
So they've been bunnies though that he's missing, rather than the lower percentage turnarounds that he makes all the time. What do you have? I mean, what is that? What's going on there?
I told you what it was.
So you think
Put
it's
a lot
just
of pressure on himself.
Okay.
Man, this kid wants to win. He wants to win. He wanted to win at Big Ten. He put pressure on himself. And when you do that, sometimes, as you know, you choke the golf club, you're going to duck hook one. When you're over that 6 to 8 inch putt and your knees are shaking, you're missing that putt, that point blank putt. So he's missed some point blank layups. Could be fatigue, could be mental fatigue, could be because he just wants it so darn bad for this program and this university. Now I think the stress is off, the pressure's off. He's done a great job, man. 4-year starter. You guys read about that? 4 years. 4 years. Is anybody writing what a warrior this kid is? What a Spartan this kid is? To show up every single day and not miss a game? You gotta be kidding me. You guys didn't write about that, did you?
No, I think we
You
did.
want to write about point blank misses? All
Well,
right.
I'm
I
going
got
to
you.
ask about them.
Bunnies, you said. I'm sorry, bunnies.
You would say bunnies too, just for the record.
Ben, do you have a question?
I do, but I'm having a hard time following that up. That was a lot. Did you need that video too? I mean,
Me?
you are the eternal optimist, but
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is you've done all of these things that you very much wanted to do for a very long time, but at the same time, you're probably not going into that moment with the momentum or the feeling that you would like to have. How do you feel good about what you've done and at the same time hit that reset button yourself when you hit the new season?
Yeah, you know what? I have great people around me that remind me of what we're doing in the moment. So if I can stay in the moment and not dwell on the negatives and not let the losses wear me down and chew at me, because we have done some amazing things. I mean, we punched our ticket 3 weeks ago. That's pretty amazing. So I've learned a lot these last few weeks as a coach, and I've learned a lot about leadership. I've learned a lot of how you need to approach it, and maybe I need to do some things a little bit differently. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. That this chapter hasn't been written, or it's not finished yet. But I look forward to. Look, I love this team. I look forward to coming to practice with this team. I like being around this team. I like traveling with this team, and I really have learned to try to enjoy. You asked me if I was having fun about a month and a half ago, and I probably didn't give you the best answer because I really wasn't enjoying as much as I should. But that made you reflect a little bit. When 3 weeks ago they say you're pretty much a solid lock now. You know what? If you look back at my 9 years and all the things I've been through and this incredible climb that we've been on, somehow you have to try to enjoy it. So I didn't really need the video, but I did have fun help making it, and I did enjoy watching them watch it. And that gave me a little bit of burst of energy that you always need.
Pat, you mentioned being excited to go out of conference again. What kind of adjustments do you have to make when you go from playing in a league as physical as the Big Ten to being out of conference where a little less physicality is allowed?
I agree. The NCAA tournament, I know we haven't been, I was BU, we went to the NCAA tournament. Villanova, I went every year, went to a Final Four, Sweet 16s, Elite Eights. You have to adjust to the officiating quickly because they're back. It's like almost like going back to November. They're back at calling everything because these guys want to advance. So you got to be really intelligent about adjusting your team and talking to your team about how the officials are calling the game. So that's one really big item as you go into postseason, because the Big Ten is there could be a foul every play. I can't look. I know you're gonna be shocked when I say this. I feel bad for the officials sometimes. I mean, everybody's on top of them. I'm on them. The other coaches on them. The fans are on them. Like, they could call a foul every single play. Tough jobs, man. Tough jobs.
What are your next few days going to be like, and how difficult is it when you don't really know who you have one of two opponents?
Yeah.
And then also the fact of playing so late at night.
I think
combining
it's
all those things.
and I think it's become an advantage for us that we're playing at 9 and not 2:30. Gives us more time for rest, more time to recharge, re-energize. We had a great practice today, about 90 to 100 minutes. really tough physical practice. Off tomorrow. Do a team activity tomorrow. Spring break, they can hang out a little bit. It's great. Go hard again on Wednesday, and then get to Indy in the afternoon Wednesday. But to have this time and not to play until the last round on Thursday, I think bodes well for us, mentally and physically.
And the idea of not quite knowing who you're going to play, is that
You know what? One coach has Indiana, one coach has Nebraska, and I'll go back to what we've been talking about here. It's all about us. It's all about us getting that confidence back, getting that belief back, getting that swagger back, and moving into Thursday night. That's what you need. And we're going to get that over the next couple of days because we have plenty of time to rest.